the top stories, Prime Minister tours area to be repaved along St. Peter's Main Road. ZIZ General Manager elected to CBU Board of Directors, and Minister Clark engages U.S. Ambassador on a range of climate-related issues. The details to these stories and more after the break.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
Be ready for school with the coolest deals from Quartz. Free gift with your back-to-school purchases, plus big discounts on cell phones, computers, printers, televisions, and more. Shop today with no cash and get instant credit on 3 to 48 months credit plan. Save big with great deals and head back to school in style. Only from Quartz, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
In cricket, there are a few essentials. A bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. The government has launched a project to upgrade the road running through St. Peter's. And on Thursday morning, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew led a delegation to the area to get an update. The group met near the St. Peter's Anglican Church, where Director of the Public Works Department, George Gilbert, said this repaving of the road is part of efforts to rehabilitate the entire St. Peter's Main Road and part of the F.T. Williams Highway.
So what we'll be doing, we'll be removing the base surface and we'll be putting a new base surface. In addition to that, we will be making the road to international standard. We will actually put sidewalks in where we can get sidewalk. For example, where we are here now, we are going to put sidewalk go right up here, right up from the Anglican Church, right up to the daycare center.
Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable Congress Maynard, said the government is anxious to move this project forward to address the St. Peter's Main Road, which has been neglected for many years.
It was not a part of the Island Main Road project that was done some years ago, although this is a significant thoroughfare for St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular for the people of St. Peter's, which is one of the fastest growing districts for housing development in the Federation. And so we want to correct that by updating and upgrading the St. Peter's Main Road.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, said he's pleased with the work that's being done by the Public Works Department.
This is an extensive piece of work. I know that the people of St. Peter's are waiting for the road. I myself told them that we will move on the road as quickly as possible once elected, and we have done that. But of course, you have to do the groundwork, foundational work, before you can actually start. And with the extensive work, I must say that they have indeed worked expeditiously for what it details of putting a project like this together.
Mr. Gilbert said before work begins, a town hall meeting will be held to hear from the residents of the area. The cost of the repaving project has not been determined, as a contractor has not been selected as yet. General Manager of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, Saju Ngala, has been elected as a Director of the Board of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union. This esteemed position was granted to him during the recent 54th General Assembly in Antigua. The Caribbean Broadcasting Union is a non-profit association that brings together public service and commercial broadcasters in the Caribbean region. The CBI comprises member stations from the 15 member nations of the Caribbean community. Its purpose is to uplift journalism in the region and foster collaboration among broadcasters. With more than 20 years of experience in media management, strategic communication, and digital marketing, Mr. Ngala brings valuable expertise to the board and the region's premier media association. 2 other members were elected to the board: Niaz Suban, Managing Director of National Communication Network of Guyana, and Richard Francis Beltran, Manager of Teleislas St. Andres Islands. Barbados-based Director Anthony Green, General Manager of Starcom Network in Barbados, was re-elected to a 2-year term. The remaining members of the board are Dr. Claire Grant, President; Richard Purcell, Vice President from Trinidad; Keith Campbell from Jamaica; Antiguan Erna May Brathwaite; and Marlene Cuellar from Belize. Mr. Ngala believes that his appointment to the Board of Directors of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union will greatly benefit ZIZ and the media industry in St. Kitts. He says he aims to make significant advancements in the broadcasting sector and improve the overall media landscape of the Federation. Minister of Sustainable Development, Environment, Climate Action and Constituency Empowerment, the Honorable Dr. Joelle Clark, hosted a visiting delegation from the United States headed by Her Excellency Linda Tagliatella, Ambassador to Barbados, the Eastern Caribbean and the OECS, and also including Catherine Beamer, the Director in the State Department's Office of Caribbean Affairs, on Monday. The dialogue focused on current landscape of climate action in the Federation, centering the U.S.-Caribbean Partnership to Address the Climate Crisis, or PAC 2030. This is a flagship initiative introduced in 2022 under the Biden-Harris administration, meant to elevate cooperation between the U.S. and the Caribbean region via the advancement of climate adaptation, resilience mechanisms, and clean energy cooperation. Minister Clark acknowledged the significance of this framework in the region-wide achievement of long-term climate goals and underscored the specific importance of equitable partnership and accessible climate financing to the Federation's mitigation and adaptation capabilities. This as the country continues to seek viable pathways to the fulfillment of its sustainable island state agenda. The discussion also covered other areas and key initiatives such as the revitalization of the SKN geothermal project, clean energy transition and alternative energy generation models, the Federation's current recycling and waste management strategies, as well as the potential greening of significant industries Federation-wide. The meeting concluded with renewed commitments for deepened bilateral cooperation on climate action and resiliency efforts. In other news, Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, says the construction of the Bastyr High School will benefit many local contractors. Minister Hanley said this during his appearance on the radio and television show In Focus on August 16, where he discussed the ongoing plans for the Bastyr High School.
After assuming the position of Minister of Education, of course, not because that's my school, the birthplace of champions, I thought it was necessary to start working immediately to ensure that we are able to rebuild or build a brand new Bastyr High School on the original site. And
he said 18 businesses have submitted bids
of the wall structure. Some 18, I think, and the peers can correct me if I'm off, would have tendered their bid to be able to service the government in that area in getting the buildings down. That process is over, and the results are with the procurement board in terms of the recommended winner of the bid.
The academic school year begins on September 4. After the break, NIA emergency dispatch training begins, and Terrence Drew Jr. encourages the youth of St. Martin. Stay with us.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
Here are your Horseless Value Mart IGA specials.
Running August 10 to the 23rd.
Now your Value Club Blue Tag special. Essential Everyday Ketchup, just $4.99. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauces, $5.99. IGA and Essential Everyday Salt, plain and iodized, $4.79. Chobani Greek Yogurt, $5.69. Super Chill Sodas, $7.99. Almond Hammer Detergent, $19.99. And now your very low weekly
Value deals. Stock is chunk like tuna, $3.99. Essential Everyday 100% apple juice, $6.99. Simply 100% orange juice, $15.99. Equaline mouthwash, $14.99. The Colgate toothpaste, $7.99. Langus cranberry juices, $11.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart.
haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
The biggest party in sport is back. CPL returns with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me? Olé!
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Brilliantly! Celebrate some more!
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Welcome back. As the Nevis Island Administration prepares to launch an emergency dispatch system on the island, potential emergency response personnel have already started training to take up the role of emergency dispatchers. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Four Seasons Homeowners Foundation, recently facilitated an introductory session attended by representatives of the Ministry of Health, Fire and Rescue Services, the Police Force, and the Nevis Disaster Management Department. Minister of Health, the Honorable Janelle Nisbet, thanked the Four Seasons Homeowners Foundation for partnering with the ministry on the Nevis Interoperable Communication System, or NEVCOM, project. She noted that establishing an emergency dispatch system demonstrates that the safety of citizens and residents of the island remain a priority for the NIA. One of the in-person facilitators was Anne Hiley-Gergel, trained nurse paramedic and emergency medical services instructor. The session included a video presentation for discussion and feedback, dispatch system step by step, the qualities of an effective dispatcher, and dispatch system updates. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Shalisa Martin Clark, said the session not only signifies the start of a new phase of the emergency dispatch project, but also underscores the government's commitment to the safety and well-being of the communities on Nevis. The Prime Minister's son, Terrence Drew Jr., lent his voice to the youth of St. Martin when he was invited to introduce the United People's Party Youth Wing representatives during the party's Congress held at the Ali's Convention Center in Madame Estate, St. Martin on Sunday. Drew Jr., who's known to give motivational speeches, encouraged the young people of St. Martin to take on an active role in society. During his speech, Drew Jr. emphasized the importance for young people in society to be agents of change.
As youth in modern society, it is important to understand our influence and how we could be impactful. We can use our platforms and our innate qualities to become agents of change. Young people say we will be agents of change. Youth and life indeed itself flashes by in the blink of an eye. That is why you need to ask yourselves, what can I do for my society and my country? It is important to look at it as if a man walks on the sand and leaves no footprint. People are going to say he's fake. People are going to say he never existed. You must ensure now, young people, that your mark, your footprints in the sand are left, so that passing generation can look back and say he was here.
He also called on the older generation to provide the foundation that will foster the growth needed in the youth to create change.
It is the responsibility now of the older generation to provide us with the right resources, guidance, and a good environment so that we can become strong agents of change in the community. Let us repeat it. We will be strong agents of change, and while we are becoming strong agents of change, we are still going up.
Drew Jr.'s parting words to the young people of St. Martin were, quote, "Never lose sight of your vision. Start small and always work together. Go out into the land that God has blessed us with and take up space." End quote. Pre-launch activities for the new Ministry of Small Business and Entrepreneurship kicked off on Tuesday with an all-white silent sweat fete. The event, which was held on the grounds of Port Zante's cruise passengers arrival area in Basse-Terre, was a high-energy outdoor networking event. The event, held in collaboration with the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, was choreographed by Sweatmaster Elston Nisbet and had a special appearance by Rohani Hughes, better known as Akayu Sweet, who supported the event by providing music. According to the Director of the Ministry of Small Business and Entrepreneurship, Philip Brown, the event aims to foster collaboration, dialogue, and growth within the country's small business community. The Ministry of Small Business and Entrepreneurship pre-launch activities continued on Thursday with the second community business meeting in the Community Business Series. Kittitian singer-songwriter Blestina is set to drop her latest single, I Will Rise, on Friday, 18th August. According to a press release following the release of her debut single, For You, in 2017, and her 2020 single, Come, Blestina has shown that she has an undeniable talent for crafting captivating, uplifting music that glorifies God and speaks straight to the heart of every listener. The release said, I Will Rise is an anthem of hope, a call to individuals battling with the pains of life to find their footing and cling to God with everything they have. As a recent graduate with a degree in psychology with management, Blestina has incorporated the lessons she has learned about mental health and different coping mechanisms into her music, with the aim to guide individuals to a place of wholeness. I Will Rise is described as a contemporary worship piece that serves as a reminder of the power of God to lift persons out of despair and give them hope, even in the most trying of times. Blestina will release her new single on Friday and the accompanying music video on Friday, August 25. Coming up in regional news, Antigua and Barbuda Labor Commissioner concerned about workplace sexual harassment